Good day, and thank you for joining СивиЛНeթ. So some time ago, two people walked into our studio for a meeting, and they told us, look, we know you're stressed, and we're going to help you relax if you like. And we're finally like, oh, finally someone understands. But of course, we misinterpreted the whole thing. We're not relaxing, we're interviewing them. So today, it's Hasmig, Tatiossian, and Armen, Menechyan. Guys, welcome to СивиLNeթ again. Well, let's talk about your project a little bit. So you're in Armenia, and what was the whole project? What is the whole project, and what were you thinking doing this in Armenia?
So the project is called Stega, and it's intended to promote self-care through yoga and meditation for people who have devoted their life energy and their lives professionally to improving the state of Armenia. So the changemakers, the movers and shakers, but those who in the process of doing this really incredible and important work are exhausted and burnt out and don't practice any form of self-care.
And why did you decide to just devote your time and energy to these people? Because everyone else is stressed. I mean, I've done a lot of other jobs as well, but being a journalist is not the most stressful one, I can assure you.
Of course. In April, when we actually sat down together, we were like, we want to go back to Armenia. And we had friends in Armenia who are social change makers. Hasmig worked for the Women's Resource Center back in 2008. And due to a published article on my end, I became very good friends with Pink Armenia. So we said, let's go there for them. Let's go offer free yoga and meditation to our friends and their network. It was going to start with 2 organizations. It ended up being 20. There was an interest, there was a need, so we decided, why not? Let's take some time off from our lives and make this a part of our life. So we're here.
So how does it work? You have certain hours people come, or you go to the office? How does it logistically work?
Want to answer that?
Go for it. She's a logistician.
So the main focus is the workshops that we do every Monday through Thursday, and we have 2 core groups of people, and each group attends the workshops twice a week. These are the ones who are part of this pilot project for 6 weeks. Aside from this group, we have also been visiting one of the organizations at their office during lunchtime because they had a sizable enough group of people that we could just go there and we could offer it to them in their office space. So that's the format it's taking, and it's 6 weeks and it's a pilot project, and we see this continuing for a pretty long length of time. And we're learning a lot in this stage.
And results, have people come up and like said, thank you, I do really feel more relaxed? I'm like, I'm too relaxed, I can't function in the Armenian society now.
There's never such a thing as being too relaxed, but this is what we've been noticing week by week. Actually, we have private messages coming in, but we also have social media where people are actually publishing their testimonials on their personal social media. They're really taking part of our testimonial page on our website, and just coming to us and saying, can we have a meeting? Because we really want to talk about certain things that are coming up. And as a yoga instructor, a yoga teacher, one kind of dedicates that time as well to sit down with the students and say, what is coming up? What type of emotions are coming? What type of thoughts? So definitely a result. I'm usually upstairs when my students go down for the break. We usually have a 2-hour session, and I do about 75 minutes of yoga practice and meditation. And then they come downstairs, and some of the expressions I think Hasmig's told me in terms of people coming downstairs, and she can probably fill you in on that.
So as Armen said, he's the teacher, he's the yoga teacher, and it's really amazing to see the students post-class because everybody rushes to class and they come in like stressed, like they're waiting for the bathroom to change, and you know, they're this kind of intense high energy, and they walk into class and then 75 minutes later, they're wholly changed. They come, their body language is different, there's inner tranquility, you see it, and I know what that's like. I know that feeling so well because when I started practicing yoga, I know what a good teacher can do, and if I may, Armen is an excellent teacher. So I understand what kind of transformation can happen on that mat, and the transformation starts on the mat, but it really continues throughout your day, and when you have after a week, after a month, after 2 months, after a year of practice, you look back and you're a wholly different person. So that's really beautiful to witness. It's
so
really
can
amazing.
your students continue where you left off? You're leaving soon, you'll be back probably, but what happens in between? Is there regression? Is it something they can work on by themselves? Because it's mainly a lot of breathing and self-care as you describe it, right?
Yes.
We're definitely hoping our students are actually going to take this and create a home practice. We're offering them different skills and different methods to be able to wake up in the morning, sit down for at least a 5 to 10 minute meditation. That's more than most of us do anyway. Mm-hmm. So if we've come to that point where they're able to have a home practice, we've already succeeded. Of course, a lot of them are asking, you guys, well, they're telling us, you guys can't leave. But unfortunately, due to life circumstances, we do need to just to work on the granting and funding. And once that's taken care of, we definitely want to come back and cater to our students, and not only our students, more people who would.
So you personally, though, you come from different backgrounds. What brought you on this path? What put you there?
You go first.
So I used to be a high school teacher. I taught history and philosophy for about 6 years in Barcelona. And then I moved to LA. I went through a divorce, etc. So I decided go back home and see what home has to offer. I met one of my yoga teachers from when I was really young, well, younger. And she was like, I'm doing a teacher training program, you should join. And I adore her. So I said, okay, I'll do it. Her name is Ducky, and I said, Ducky, I'll do it. I was consulting some teachers at the time, and I'm part of a nonprofit organization. I decided, you know what, I kind of want to continue on the yoga path. Went to Nepal for a 1-month meditation, and this was part of a 4-month trip that I did in Armenia. And when I went back, I said, I really want to come back to Armenia. And that's when the wheel started to turn. Hasmig went through a similar story, and she'll tell you more about that, but this is how we kind of merged at that point.
Hasmig, how did you fall into this?
So I started practicing yoga 3-4 years ago, just for 2-3 months, and I realized very quickly that it was the best gift that I could give to myself. Never had experienced anything like it before. But life took over, and I was in a place where I was working 14-15 hours a day, 7 days a week. So to backtrack a little bit, I studied human rights, international relations, and my research for my master's was on conflict transformation and looking specifically at Karabakh and women, and that's what had brought me to Armenia in 2008. Upon my return to the States, kind of life took a turn, and I found myself helping to build a business. So I went from the nonprofit sector to the business sector, and with my then husband for 7 years, worked on building a pretty successful business in New Jersey. Then I got divorced, and I moved back to California, and it was at that point that I knew I had to go back to yoga, because that was what I needed for my healing. That's what I needed to nourish myself. And Armen said, get off the couch, go to class. So I did. I had started meditating 10 years ago. I've had an on and off practice for a long time. And it was the combination of those two things that really helped me declutter the inner space and to rebuild from there.
So guys, you've been friends like since first grade? Did I read that right?
Yeah.
We have been.
And you've been through all of this together, like a...
We have.
Transformations, divorces, career changes, moves, lives together. Is yoga at the core of it, holding you together? Do you think if not for the meditation and both of you being on the same path, in a way, your friendship could have, probably not stayed strong enough, or you would have gone different directions and not be in touch even?
The friendship predates everything.
Yeah.
So
our friendship predates, it actually goes down to crayons, sharing crayons
first
together.
Grade.
And then her trying to help me talk to someone, in the 7th grade, and
then
us living together in New York during grad school. So, but during that process, she saw me doing yoga. She was interested. And then I saw her going through meditation. I was like, that's cool, but I wasn't into it. I was more into the getting strong and, the muscles and all that stuff that's secondary to the practice of yoga. But then it brought us,
So guys, I see a lot of video material of you, like visiting Garni, Gerhard, coming in from the airport, going around your daily things. Yeah, I've been spying on you. Is this going to amount to something else? Is it just a video blog? It's done professionally. It's going to go somewhere else, my instincts don't tell. What's the other project here? Confess?
There is no other project, but we wanted to do something that is inspiring, that makes people smile, that makes people laugh with us, and goes through all of this kind of with us vicariously. Because we crowdfunded to be here, and we have quite a few donors, and we wanted to inform our donors, and not through your typical newsletter, hey, this is what we've done. Watch what we've done, kind of live through it with us. And it's kind of a hope-inspiring campaign. You know, ultimately, the grand vision is a large nationwide wellness campaign, but for us, we wanted to kind of document it in a fun way and to let our donors know what we've been doing. And we also wanted to offer that opportunity professionally to a young videographer who has talent, who has passion, and we knew that we could give him direction and we can offer work. And we wanted that to be part of the project too. It's
working, it's very positive, it's very energetic.
Thank you.
And like, okay, instead of asking one last question, sure, because our time is almost up, any advice to our viewers? They might be really tense now. Any advice you have for the viewers, each of you?
Yeah, I would say to honestly, like, really sit down and question what we're doing with ourselves, with our lives. And when you actually take that moment to sit quietly, you can call it meditation, or you can call it sitting quietly and breathing, and say, what am I doing with my life? Am I doing something where I'm actually following my truth, following what I am meant to do, or am I just doing this just because I have to do it? Just question. Be inquisitive with yourself.
And then have a backup to fix you up
if course.
The answer doesn't.
Of course.
Yeah, I would say deepen your breath. Deepen your breath, which goes in tandem with what Armen said, but deepening your breath is really the first step in the metaphor for deepening your life. I think it really starts there. Every breath is an opportunity. And between every inhale and exhale, there is a moment, a pause, and it teaches us patience, it teaches us gratitude, it teaches us so much. Our breath has a lot to teach us, so breathe deeply.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you.
We also thank our viewers for joining us, and a little bit of self-serving advice. Stay informed with ＳiviLNet.